Admiral James Holloway stood motionless before the sweeping viewport of Terra Station 1, his weathered hands clasped behind his back. The distant stars winked at him like old friends, their familiar patterns disrupted by the sudden appearance of a massive vessel dropping out of fold space. The Galactic Council's diplomatic ship, the Celestial Mandate, emerged like a gleaming dagger pointed at Earth's heart. "Quite the statement they're making," Captain Sarah Rodriguez commented from his side. A diplomatic vessel escorted by 3 battle cruisers. Holloway's lips twitched into a slight smile. After 30 years commanding Earth's fleets, he had learned to read intentions in fleet formations as easily as others read facial expressions. "They're not here to negotiate, Sarah. They're here to deliver terms." The Celestial Mandate's hull caught Earth's sunlight, its iridescent surface displaying the emblems of all 28 Council species. Humanity's absence from that grand collection hadn't bothered Holloway until now. The ship's graceful approach was masterfully calculated, close enough to demonstrate power, far enough to appear non-threatening to civilian observers. "Admiral," his neural link chimed. "Council representatives request immediate audience. They're routing to Conference Chamber Alpha." "Acknowledged." Holloway straightened his midnight blue uniform. "Captain Rodriguez, assemble the command staff. I want every division head present." The conference chamber's holographic displays sprang to life as the council delegation materialized. 7 representatives, each from a different elder race, arranged themselves in a perfect crescent. Their leader, High Speaker Nexus of the Theran Republic, stepped forward. The being's crystalline form caught the chamber's light, sending rainbow refractions across the walls. "Admiral Holloway," Nexus began, its modulated voice carefully neutral. "The Galactic Council extends greetings to Earth and her colonies." High Speaker Holloway inclined his head slightly. "Earth welcomes the Council's delegation, though we question the need for battle cruiser escorts in peaceful space." A ripple of discomfort passed through the alien representatives. "Good. Let them know their posturing hadn't gone unnoticed. We come with grave purpose, Admiral." Nexus's crystalline form darkened slightly. "The Council has observed Earth's recent technological advancement with concern, particularly your quantum fold drive innovation." Holloway maintained his passive expression, though inside his mind raced. The quantum fold drive had revolutionized human space travel, allowing ships to perform precise jumps even within tactical combat range, a capability that the Council, with all its millennia of advancement, had never achieved. "The Council," Nexus continued, "has determined that such technology in the hands of an unproven species presents an unacceptable risk to galactic stability. We require its immediate surrender to Council authority." The chamber fell silent. Holloway could feel his staff's tension, their barely contained outrage. The quantum fold drive represented decades of human innovation, countless lives lost in testing, and humanity's best hope for true galactic citizenship. And if Earth declines, Holloway's voice remained steady, though his neural link registered elevated heart rate, then the Council will have no choice but to remove the threat. Nexus's form grew darker still. "You have 24 Earth hours to begin technology transfer procedures. After that, we will consider your noncompliance as an act of war against the Galactic Council." The delegation vanished, leaving the chamber in stunned silence. Captain Rodriguez was the first to speak. "Sir, the Third Fleet reports Council battle groups moving into position near Proxima Centauri. The Fifth Fleet has detected similar movements near Tau Ceti." Holloway turned to face his command staff, each face showing the same mix of determination and concern he felt. "Ladies and gentlemen, it seems the Council has forgotten that humanity doesn't respond well to threats." He activated the central holographic display, bringing up the status of Earth's combined fleets. "They expect us to either surrender or fortify. Instead, we're going to show them exactly why they should fear human innovation." A predatory smile crossed his face as he began laying out his plan. The Council thought they were containing a threat. Instead, they were about to learn why humanity had survived countless extinction-level events to reach the stars. It was time to demonstrate why you never backed a species that had turned their own world's deadliest environments into vacation spots. Begin Operation Thunderclap, Holloway commanded. Let's show the Council what happens when you threaten Earth. Shadow Fleet, commence micro-jump sequence. Admiral Holloway watched as 30 sleek human vessels vanished from his tactical display, only to reappear seconds later deep within Council space. The quantum fold drive's signature blue ripple was barely visible, another advantage of human engineering. While Council ships announced their jumps with massive energy signatures, human vessels slipped through space like ghosts. All ships report successful insertion. Admiral, Lieutenant Commander Marcus Chen reported from his station. Stealth systems nominal. Council detection grids remain inactive. Holloway nodded, studying the holographic representation of Council space before him. The massive alien empire had grown complacent over millennia of unchallenged dominance. Their sensor networks, designed to detect traditional fold space signatures, were blind to human innovation. "Sir," Captain Rodriguez's voice carried a note of concern. "Message from Dr. Holloway." A small smile crossed the Admiral's face. "Put my daughter through, Captain." Jessica Holloway's hologram appeared, her lab coat wrinkled from another endless research session. "Dad, I've completed the analysis of Council shield harmonics. You were right. Their standardization is their weakness. The micro-jump calculations I'm sending will put our ships inside their shield envelope every time." "That's my girl." Holloway's pride was evident. The quantum fold drive might have been humanity's greatest achievement, but its true potential had only been unlocked when Jessica discovered how to calculate precision jumps at tactical ranges. "How's the new project coming?" "The Enhanced Combat Navigation System is ready for deployment. Each ship's AI can now calculate microjumps in real time during combat. The Council won't know what hit them." The tactical display updated, showing Council fleet movements. Their massive battle groups were positioning themselves for what they thought would be an overwhelming first strike. Instead, they were spreading their forces thin, creating perfect targets for Shadow Fleet's wolf pack tactics. "Commander Chen, distribute Jessica's calculations to all fleet elements. Captain Rodriguez, signal Shadow Groups 1 through 7 to begin Phase 2. Holloway's orders were calm, measured. Years of preparation were finally bearing fruit. Across Council space, human vessels began their deadly dance. Shadow Group 3 materialized briefly near a Council supply depot, mapped its defenses, then vanished before the automated alerts could even trigger. Shadow Group 5 recorded the energy signatures of Council warships, building a comprehensive targeting database for the coming battle. "Council forces are responding exactly as predicted," Rodriguez reported. "They're pulling ships from their outer defense rings to reinforce their core worlds." Holloway activated the fleet-wide command channel. "All Shadow Groups, execute Pattern Sierra 7. Weapons free on Council sensor platforms only. Maintain emissions control and signals discipline." The next 6 hours demonstrated why humanity had survived countless near-extinction events on Earth. Human ships struck with surgical precision, eliminating key sensor nodes in the Council's detection grid. Each strike was calculated to look like equipment failure rather than enemy action. By the time Council technicians realized something was wrong, massive gaps had been torn in their early warning network. Shadow Group 2 reports Council dry dock identified in Sector 7. Chen announced. 3 Dreadnought-class vessels under construction. "Excellent." Holloway marked the location on his tactical display. "That will be primary target 3. Rodriguez, signal Shadow Group 4 to place navigational markers for the main fleet." Jessica's hologram watched the operation unfold. The Council thinks their numerical advantage is decisive. They have no idea that warfare hasn't been about numbers since Earth's Second World War. Indeed, Holloway studied the latest fleet positions. They're fighting the last war, while we're fighting the next one. Status of Council battle groups. Still consolidating around their core worlds, Sir, Rodriguez confirmed. Their rear areas are practically undefended. Holloway allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. The Council's rigid military doctrine was their greatest weakness. They expected humanity to react like every other species they dominated, with fear and desperation. Instead, human forces were about to demonstrate why adaptability had always been their species' greatest strength. All shadow groups, Operation Thunderclap is now entering final phase. Holloway transmitted. Prepare for coordinated strike on my mark. The Council wanted to see humanity's true capability. His eyes hardened. Let's not disappoint them. Admiral Krithak of the Drachnid Empire stood on his command deck, mandibles clicking with anticipation. The human colony of Proxima Centauri lay before him, seemingly defenseless. His fleet of 200 warships represented the largest Council force assembled in 50 years. All ships report ready for combat, his executive officer announced. No human vessels detected within sensor range. Krithak's outer eyes focused on the tactical display while his inner ones studied fleet formations. The humans are either fools or cowards. Begin planetary approach. Prepare invasion forces. Aboard the TNS Gettysburg, Admiral Holloway watched the Council fleet's approach through the quantum fold drive's dimensional lens. His ships lay in wait, their presence masked by the very technology the Council had demanded they surrender. All shadow groups confirm ready, Captain Rodriguez reported. Jessica's calculations are locked in. Every ship has their micro-jump coordinates. Holloway nodded. Send to all ships. Execute Operation Firefly. The space around the Council fleet erupted in controlled chaos. Human vessels materialized inside their formation, their arrival marked only by subtle ripples in space-time. Before Council gunners could react, precision strikes disabled shield generators and weapons arrays. By the first ones, Krithak roared as human ships appeared impossibly close to his vessels. How are they jumping at tactical range? Return fire. But the Council ships' massive weapons were designed for long-range engagement. The human vessels danced between their firing arcs, too close for effective targeting. Each micro-jump placed Earth's ships at perfect attack positions, their smaller weapons delivering devastating precise strikes. Shadow Group 3 reports Council escort screen neutralize, Rodriguez announced. Shadow Groups 1 and 4 are engaging their capital ships. The TNS Gettysburg performed its own micro-jump, emerging directly alongside Krithak's flagship. Holloway allowed himself a grim smile as his ship's point defense systems created a web of intercepting fire, protecting them from desperate counterattacks. Council ships are attempting to coordinate their defense, Lieutenant Commander Chen reported. Their command and control network is struggling to keep up with our jump patterns. Through the viewport, Holloway watched a Council dreadnought try to bring its main guns to bear. Before it could fire, 3 human frigates materialized at different points around its hull. Their synchronized strike severed its primary power conduits, leaving the massive vessel dead in space. Admiral Krithak is requesting ship-to-ship communications, Rodriguez said. Put him through. Holloway straightened his uniform as the Drachnid commander's image appeared. What sorcery is this? Krithak's mandibles clacked furiously. No species can perform fold space jumps with such precision. No species before humanity, Holloway corrected. You demanded we surrender our technology. Instead, we're demonstrating why it should have been respected. On the tactical display, another wave of Council ships fell silent as human vessels executed their precisely choreographed attack patterns. The massive alien fleet, pride of the Council's military might, was being systematically dismantled by a numerically inferior force. Sir, Chen interrupted, Council forces are attempting to retreat. Their remaining ships are charging their fold drives. Let them go, Holloway ordered. They'll carry the message better than any transmission we could send. Krithak's image flickered as his ship prepared for emergency jump. This defeat will not stand, human. The Council will not rest until... Until what? Holloway interrupted. Until you learn that humanity doesn't bow to threats. That we advance through innovation, not intimidation. He leaned forward. Take this message to your council. Earth stands ready for peace or war. The choice is yours. The battle ended as quickly as it began. In just 6 minutes, humanity had destroyed or disabled 60% of the Council fleet. The remaining ships fled in disarray, their neat formations shattered. All shadow groups report mission accomplished, Rodriguez announced. Total human casualties, 0. The dance of the fireflies was a complete success. Holloway studied the debris field that had once been the Council's invasion force. Send to Earth Command. Phase 3 complete. The Council now understands our military capability. He turned to his bridge crew, but this was just the opening move. The real challenge begins when they decide how to respond. The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council erupted in chaos. Holographic representatives of 28 species shouted accusations across the star-shaped chamber, while high-speaker nexus struggled to maintain order. The humans must be exterminated. Admiral Krithak's projection thundered, his mandibles clicking furiously. They humiliated our finest fleet. They defended their territory after our ultimatum. Countered Ambassador Lyra of the Meridian Confederation, her luminescent form pulsing with emphasis. The real question is why we threatened a species that clearly deserved membership, not subjugation. In his private office aboard Terra Station 1, Admiral Holloway watched the leaked council proceedings with careful attention. Captain Rodriguez stood nearby, analyzing the various faction responses. The younger races are breaking ranks, she noted. The Meridians, the Stellar Commonwealth, even the Coreward Alliance, they're all questioning the Council's leadership. Holloway's neural link chimed with an incoming priority message. Jessica's found something in the captured Council databases. Put her through. His daughter's hologram appeared, her expression grave. Dad, you need to see this. The Council's recent military buildup wasn't just about Earth. She transmitted a series of decoded files. Look at these fleet movements from the past 5 years. They're preparing for something massive coming from the galactic core. The data scrolled across Holloway's display. Thousands of ships redirected, deep space monitoring stations abandoned, entire defense sectors stripped of resources, all to mount a show of force against Earth. Sir, Rodriguez interrupted, incoming transmission from the Meridian Confederation. Ambassador Lyra requests a private audience. Holloway straightened his uniform, put her through on the secure quantum channel. The ambassador's ethereal form materialized, her light-based body casting soft patterns across the office walls. Admiral Holloway, I speak unofficially on behalf of 7 Council species. We wish to propose an alliance. The last alliance offered to Earth came with an ultimatum, Holloway replied carefully. This one comes with an apology. Lyra's form brightened. The dance of the fireflies proved what many of us suspected. Humanity's innovation could strengthen the galaxy, not threaten it. We need your quantum-fold technology, but not as conquerors. We need it as partners. Before Holloway could respond, Lieutenant Commander Chen burst into the office. Sir, emergency transmission from Shadow Group 5. Council hardliners are mobilizing their reserve fleets. They're targeting our outer colonies. Holloway's expression hardened. How long until they're in strike range? 12 hours, sir, but there's more. Chen's face paled. They're deploying planet-killer weapons. Ambassador Lyra's light dimmed noticeably. The Council's elder races are desperate. They would rather destroy your colonies than risk losing their dominance. Send to all fleet elements, Holloway ordered. Execute Contingency Protocol Delta. And Ambassador, he turned to Lyra's projection. If your offer of alliance is genuine, we're going to need immediate access to your strategic grid. You'll have it within the hour, Lyra promised. The Meridian Confederation stands with Earth. As alerts sounded throughout Terra Station 1, Jessica's hologram reappeared. Dad, I've decoded more of the Council files. This isn't just about politics anymore. The thing they're scared of, coming from the core. It's worse than we imagined. How much worse? Try extinction level worse. The Council's been hiding it for centuries, building up forces in secret. She projected a series of deep space scans. Whatever it is, it's already consumed 3 star systems in the past year alone. Holloway absorbed the information, his tactical mind already formulating strategies. So the Council wasn't just afraid of our technology. They were afraid we'd discover their secret. And now we have to decide what to do with that information. Rodriguez added. The Admiral stood at his viewport, watching Earth's defense fleet assemble for what could be their greatest challenge. The Council's hardliners were coming with planet killers, but they weren't the real threat. Something far worse lurked in the galactic core, something that had the oldest spacefaring races in the galaxy terrified. Send to all commands, Holloway ordered. This is no longer about defending Earth. This is about saving the galaxy, whether the Council likes it or not. The Third Fleet of the Galactic Council emerged from fold space like an approaching storm. 500 capital ships, including the legendary dreadnought Stellar Dominator, moved into attack formation around Tau Ceti. Council Admiral Vexthor stood on his command deck, his serpentine form coiled with anticipation. 2,000 years of victories, he hissed to his crew. Today, we add humanity to that list. Aboard the TNS Gettysburg, Admiral Holloway studied the massive Council fleet through enhanced tactical displays. His seemingly outnumbered force of 100 ships held position near Tau Ceti's third planet. Jessica's enhanced combat navigation system is fully operational, Captain Rodriguez reported. All ships report quantum fold drives at maximum efficiency. Council fleet is launching fighter screens, Lieutenant Commander Chen added. Their energy signatures suggest planet killer weapons are armed and ready. Holloway opened the fleet-wide channel. All ships, execute Battle Plan Whiskey 7. Remember your training. Today we're not just fighting for Earth, we're fighting for the future of the galaxy. The Council fleet advanced in textbook formation, their ships arranged in precise layers of overlapping fields of fire. It was a formation that had won battles for millennia. Sir, Chen called out, Ambassador Lyra's intelligence was correct. They're deploying their standard combat protocols. Holloway allowed himself a small smile. Exactly as expected. Signal all groups. Commence Operation Shattered Shield. Human vessels suddenly burst into action. Instead of meeting the Council's advance head-on, they split into dozens of smaller wolf packs. Each group executed precision microjumps, materializing at seemingly random points around the Council formation. What trickery is this? Vexthor demanded as his tactical display struggled to track the human movements. No fleet can coordinate such chaotic maneuvers. But there was nothing chaotic about humanity's attack. Each jump was precisely calculated by Jessica's navigation system, placing human ships exactly where the Council's formation was weakest. Their rigid battle doctrine became a liability as they struggled to respond to threats appearing simultaneously across their entire fleet. Shadow Groups 3 through 7 report successful penetration of outer defense screens, Rodriguez announced. Council fleet cohesion is breaking down. Holloway watched as his forces executed the most complex military maneuver in human history. Ships jumped in and out of fold space like quantum ghosts, each appearance timed to disrupt the Council's carefully planned responses. Enemy fighters are in disarray, Chen reported. Their combat coordination systems can't adapt to our jump patterns. The massive Stellar Dominator tried to bring its planet-killer weapon to bear on Tau Ceti's populated third planet. Before it could fire, 3 human cruisers materialized inside its shield envelope. Their synchronized strike severed the weapon's power core, sending cascading explosions through the mighty vessel. Council fleet is attempting to regroup, Rodriguez called out. They're falling back to secondary positions. Not this time. Holloway keyed in the final phase of his battle plan. All ships, execute Pattern Omega. Show them why humanity was never meant to be contained. The TNS Gettysburg led the charge, micro-jumping directly into the heart of the Council formation. Human ships appeared everywhere at once, their smaller weapons finding vulnerable points that the Council's massive vessels couldn't defend against. Admiral, Vexthor's transmission cut through the battle chatter. You fight with neither honor nor proper doctrine. We fight to win, Holloway replied calmly. Something your council should have considered before threatening our worlds. The battle for Ta City lasted just 27 minutes. When it ended, the legendary Third Fleet existed only in scattered debris fields. The few surviving council ships retreated in disorder, their undefeated record shattered by human innovation. All shadow groups report victory achieved, Rodriguez announced. Council forces are in full retreat. Stellar Dominator and 3 other dreadnoughts captured intact. Holloway studied the aftermath of humanity's greatest naval victory. Send to Earth Command. Ta City secured. But we're not finished yet. He turned to his bridge crew. Now comes the hard part. We have to convince them to help us save them from what's coming. The captured Council dreadnought Stellar Dominator loomed in the docking bay of Terra Station 1, its massive hull bearing the scars of battle. Admiral Holloway walked through its crystalline corridors alongside his daughter, Jessica, as engineering teams worked to decrypt its databases. Look at this, Dad. Jessica projected a hologram from her neural link. The Council's been tracking something massive moving through the galactic core. These energy readings are off the charts. Holloway studied the data streams. How long have they known? Centuries, at least. Jessica's fingers danced through the holographic displays. They've lost contact with 3 entire sectors in the past year alone. Whatever's out there, it's getting closer. Their discussion was interrupted by Captain Rodriguez's urgent transmission. Admiral, we found something in the prisoner interrogations. You need to see this immediately. In the station's secure holding area, a council elder sat in quiet meditation. The ancient being's crystalline form pulsed with soft light as Holloway entered. I wondered when you would come, the elder spoke, its voice resonating through the chamber. Your victory at Ta City has forced many truths into the open, including what's coming from the core. Holloway kept his voice neutral. The Devourers. The elder's light dimmed noticeably. They emerge every 50,000 years to consume all advanced life in the galaxy. The Council was formed to stand against them, but we have grown corrupt with power, rigid with fear. Jessica projected the deep space scans. These energy signatures match nothing in our database. They wouldn't. The Elder's form flickered. The Devourers exist partially in fold space itself. That's why your quantum drive technology terrified the Council leadership. The prophecy spoke of fold space warriors who would either save the galaxy or doom it entirely. Holloway's neural link chimed with urgent updates. More Council ships were gathering, but not for battle. Dozens of refugee vessels flood from the galactic core, carrying civilians from abandoned worlds. How long do we have? Holloway asked. Months, perhaps a year. The elder rose, its crystalline form casting fractured light across the chamber. Your quantum fold drive is different from conventional fold space technology. You've mastered precision where we focused on raw power. It might be our only hope. Lieutenant Commander Chen burst into the chamber. Sir, emergency transmission from Shadow Group 8. They've made contact with a Devourer scout vessel near the core. Sending visual data now. The holographic display showed a massive ship that seemed to bend reality around it. Parts of its hull phased in and out of normal space, making it difficult to focus on. By all the stars, Jessica whispered, it's using fold space as a weapon, tearing holes in the fabric of space-time itself. Now you understand our fear, the elder said. We thought containing humanity's development would prevent the prophecy's darkest outcome. Instead, we may have doomed ourselves by trying to suppress the very innovation we needed. Holloway's tactical mind was already racing. Jessica, could we modify the quantum fold drive to counter their fold space manipulation? Maybe. She was deep in calculations. If we could synchronize multiple drives, create a stable field. Her eyes widened. Dad, that's it. We don't need to fight them in normal space. We can engage them in fold space itself. The elder's light pulsed brighter. Such a thing has never been attempted. The power requirements alone would be massive, Holloway finished. But if we combined human innovation with council technology, he turned to the elder. Your people have the power generation we need. We have the precision control to make it work. Sir, Rodriguez's voice cut in. Council hardliners are preparing another attack fleet. They're refusing to acknowledge the Devourer threat. Holloway looked at the elder. We can fight each other while the galaxy burns, or we can stand together against what's coming. The choice is yours. The elder's crystalline form resonated with decision. I will contact those who will listen. But remember, Admiral, the prophecy remains unclear. Your technology could still doom us all. Maybe, Holloway agreed, but doing nothing will doom us for certain. It's time to show the galaxy why humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our refusal to accept impossible odds. The combined fleet gathered near Jupiter's orbit presented a sight unprecedented in galactic history. Human vessels flew alongside Meridian lightships, their quantum fold drives synchronized with Council power cores. Ambassador Lyra's flagship pulsed with ethereal energy as engineering teams made final modifications. Integration of Council power systems is at 98%. Jessica reported from her laboratory aboard the TNS Gettysburg. The enhanced combat navigation system is adapting well to alien technology. Admiral Holloway studied the tactical display showing their gathered forces. How many ships joined our cause? 312 Council vessels, Captain Rodriguez answered. Combined with our fleet and the Meridian Confederation, we have 500 ships ready for combat. Sir, Lieutenant Commander Chen interrupted. Long-range sensors detect Council hardliner forces approaching Earth. Supreme Commander Vexthor leads them personally. 1,000 ships, including their remaining planet killers. Holloway opened a channel to the combined fleet. All vessels, this is Admiral Holloway. Today we face a choice between fear and cooperation, between stagnation and progress. The Council hardliners come to destroy Earth rather than accept change. But they've forgotten something crucial about humanity. We've faced extinction before. It taught us to evolve, to adapt, to overcome. The Council Elder's crystalline form shimmered as it joined the transmission. The prophecy speaks true. Today we witness the power of unity over division. Shadow Groups 1 through 7 report ready, Rodriguez announced. All ships show green status on quantum fold synchronization. Holloway activated the fleet-wide combat network. Execute Battle Plan Epsilon. Show them what happens when innovation meets determination. The hardliner fleet emerged from fold space like an angry storm, their weapons already charging. Supreme Commander Vexthor's voice boomed across all frequencies. This abomination ends today. Earth will burn for corrupting the natural order. Instead of meeting the attack head-on, the combined fleet split into precisely coordinated battle groups. Human quantum fold technology merged with Council power systems allowed for synchronized jumps that defied traditional combat doctrine. Multiple targets locked, Chen reported. Quantum field synchronization holding steady. Execute primary attack pattern, Holloway commanded. Let's show them what true cooperation can achieve. The battle unfolded like a deadly dance. Human ships led each attack group, their precise micro-jumps allowing Council and Meridian vessels to strike from impossible angles. Vexthor's rigid formations crumbled against attacks that came from all directions at once. Enemy fleet is attempting to regroup, Rodriguez called out. They're bringing planet killers into range of Earth. Not today. Holloway signaled the final phase. All ships, execute Pattern Nova. Jessica's modified navigation system coordinated the most complex military maneuver ever attempted. 500 Allied ships performed simultaneous micro-jumps, creating a quantum field that temporarily trapped the hardliner fleet in a fold space bubble. Containment field holding. Jessica's voice was triumphant. Their ships can't break free. Signal the Meridian lightships, Holloway ordered. Begin power transfer sequence. Ambassador Lyra's vessels channeled massive energy streams into the quantum field. Combined with Council power cores and human precision, the effect was devastating. The Hardliner fleet found themselves trapped in a pocket of warped spacetime, their mighty weapons useless. Supreme Commander, Holloway transmitted to Vexthor's flagship, "Surrender now. Don't force us to end this tragically." The response came in the form of weapons fire, but the shots dissipated harmlessly in the quantum field. The Hardliner fleet's struggles grew increasingly desperate as they realized their complete tactical defeat. "Enemy ships powering down," Chen reported. "They're surrendering, sir." As the quantum field dissolved, Holloway watched the once mighty Hardliner fleet drift powerless. Earth's greatest threat had been neutralized not through destruction, but through the very cooperation they had fought against. "All ships report victory achieved," Rodriguez announced. "No casualties among Allied forces." The Council Elder's voice carried across the command channel. The prophecy unfolds. The Fold Space Warriors have chosen creation over destruction. Now we must prepare for the greater threat that approaches. Holloway nodded gravely. "Send to all commands. Phase 1 complete. Begin preparations for Operation Galactic Shield. The real war is just beginning." The reformed Galactic Council chamber bore little resemblance to its former self. Gone was the hierarchical arrangement that had placed elder races above the younger species. Now representatives sat in a perfect circle, with Earth's section holding equal prominence alongside the oldest council members. Admiral Holloway stood before the assembled delegates, his dress uniform bearing both Terra Naval Command insignia and the new symbol of the Combined Defense Fleet. Behind him, holographic displays showed the approaching threat from the Galactic Core. "The Devourers have consumed 3 more systems," he reported, "but their advance has slowed since our successful defense of the Meridian border worlds. The quantum fold shield strategy works." Ambassador Lyra's luminescent form brightened with approval. "The combination of human precision jumping and Council power generation has exceeded all expectations. Even the Devourers cannot counter synchronized fold space fields." "Which brings us to our next phase," Jessica added, stepping forward. Her scientific achievements had earned her a place in these highest chambers. "We've completed modifications to the combined fleet. Every ship now carries both quantum fold drives and enhanced Council power cores." The Council Elder who had first revealed the Devourer threat rose, its crystalline form casting rainbow patterns across the chamber. The prophecy spoke truth. Humanity's innovation, combined with Council knowledge, creates protection instead of destruction. "I move to officially confirm Admiral Holloway as Supreme Commander of the Combined Defense Fleet." The vote was unanimous. Throughout the chamber, representatives of 29 species, Earth now included, signaled their approval. The same council that had threatened Earth's destruction now entrusted humanity with its defense. Aboard the newly commissioned TNS Enterprise, Holloway stood on the command deck. The massive vessel represented the peak of cooperation between species, its human-designed quantum fold drive powered by Council energy cores and enhanced by Meridian sensor technology. "Combined fleet reports ready," Admiral Captain Rodriguez announced from her station. She had earned her promotion during the battles that followed Earth's victory over the Hardliners. "All ships show green status on quantum synchronization. Deep space sensors detect Devourer fleet approaching the Carina sector," Lieutenant Commander Chen added. "Their reality warping signatures are unmistakable." Holloway opened the fleet-wide channel. "All ships, this is Fleet Command." For centuries, the galaxy lived in fear of this moment. The Devourers were thought unstoppable, their fold space weapons unbeatable. But they never faced a unified galaxy. They never encountered human innovation, combined with Council power and Meridian wisdom. He paused, watching status reports flow in from ships crewed by multiple species working in perfect harmony. "Today we prove that cooperation achieves what fear never could. Execute Operation Galactic Shield. Show them why humanity was meant to lead this fight." The combined fleet moved out in perfect formation, quantum fold drives humming in synchronized harmony. As they approached the Carina sector, Long-range sensors detected the reality-bending signatures of approaching Devourer vessels. Multiple hostile contacts, Chen reported. Their fold space weapons are charging. Execute primary defense pattern, Holloway ordered. Jessica, initiate the quantum field. His daughter's voice came clear over the command channel. Quantum fold synchronization at maximum. All ships linked and ready. The battle that followed would be recorded in the histories of 29 species. The Devourer vessels, massive and reality-warping, met their match in the combined innovation of a unified galaxy. Human precision, council power, and meridian perception came together in a display of cooperation that changed the course of galactic history. "Sir," Rodriguez called out, pride evident in her voice, "the Devourers are retreating." First confirmed victory against them in recorded history. Holloway allowed himself a small smile. Send to all commands. Phase 1 successful. The galaxy stands united. He turned to his mixed-species bridge crew, and this is just the beginning. Today we proved that humanity's greatest contribution to the galaxy isn't our technology. It's our ability to bring people together, to face impossible odds, and to forge victory from the depths of potential defeat. The stars stretched out before them, no longer a battlefield but a frontier. Humanity had found its place among the stars not through conquest or submission, but through innovation and cooperation. The galaxy's future was secure, guarded by the combined strength of all its peoples.